What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for coming back to the UpNexa YouTube channel. I am your host, as always, AJ Levitt, and we are back with another Clover POS video. In today's video, we're going to be going over a very common question, something that seems a little bit confusing to business owners, especially when first getting the Clover POS system, and that is setting up your modifier groups and attaching modifier groups to your POS system. But don't worry, UpNexa has you covered. We're going to be going over that in a very simple, easy to learn video that you can use as a step-by-step guide to creating and attaching modifier groups for and to items. So, as always, we're going to be starting on the home screen of the Clover POS system. And our first place we're going to go is to the Inventory app. So we're going to click on Inventory right here. Once you click on the Inventory app, it's going to take you to your items list where it shows all of your items that you have set up in your POS system. But for modifiers, we're going to click on over to the modifier section on the left-hand side. And you can see we already have some modifier groups set up, but we're going to start from the beginning for you guys. So as always, we're going to hit our green plus sign located on the bottom right-hand corner of the POS system. Then, first thing it's going to ask you is your modifier group name. So today we're going to be setting up temperatures for steaks. So we're going to be going into temperature. Meat temp. Once you have the name in there, make sure everything's spelled correctly. We're going to click on done. Once we click on done, now it's going to take you over to your modifier staging area. So on the bottom left-hand corner, we're going to click on add modifier. And these are going to be the options within the modifier group. So we'll start with well done. No price added on here. If you have online ordering, you can also add this to online ordering by simply just clicking show online. And it'll automatically throw the online name in there. If you want to name it something different for online, for whatever reason, you are able to do that as well. If there is no price, you don't have to put in 0, it'll automatically set it as 0, and then we're going to click save. Now again, we're going to click on add modifier, go over to here, and we're going to go on medium, and then save. Again, add modifier, put in the name, medium, rare. Again, no price, click on save. Now, we have our modifier set up for the meat temperatures, for example. Now, on the POS system, you do not want to have your waiters or waitresses or your servers, whoever it is, you do not want them to miss this modifier. So, how do we force the employee to add this modifier in? Because if you send, let's say, a filet mignon over to the kitchen, and the kitchen staff doesn't know how to cook the filet mignon, now they have to find the server, they have to ask the server has to ask the customer, hoping that they get that answer answered properly. But let's avoid all of that, right? So you're going to see right on top right here, you're going to see min and max. What this means is the POS system is going to force the employee to pick at least one option or a maximum amount of options. So for example, for meat temperature, we want to click on a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 1. Because you don't want to send a ticket and it say well done and medium rare kitchen again. The food is going to be delayed. You're going to have to find the server and get the right answer. So minimum 1, maximum 1. Now we're going to click on save. So now step 1 is complete. We have our modifier group successfully created and added to the POS system. Now what we're going to do is add that modifier group to an item, right? So I like to go to categories and we're going to click over on dinners. Now, once we're on dinners, we're going to see we offer a porterhouse with potatoes. We're going to click here. Then we're going to scroll down to the bottom, and we're looking for this right here where it says modifiers. As of right now, there is no modifier set up, but we're going to change that. Once we click on modifiers, all of the modifier groups are listed out here. That is why it's super important to name the modifier group to something that applies to the item. So when you have a long list of modifiers here, you're not going crazy looking to see what you name the group, something confusing like that. So for the porterhouse, of course, we're going to add the temperature. Click on apply. Once it's on there, you can check it here. Modifiers, meat temperature. Click on save. So now we have our modifier group created. We have our modifier group added successfully to an item. Now let's test this thing out. So we're going to hit the home button right here. Go over to register. Click on our dinners category, and we're going to click on porterhouse with potatoes. Once we click on the porterhouse with potatoes, you can see our done button right here. We cannot click the done button until one of our modifiers listed here are clicked. For example, we hit well done. That's how they like their steak. I don't like it that way. I'm very against that, but that's another conversation for another day. Now we click well done, and then we can finally click done and then fire it over to the kitchen. That is how you add a modifier group to a modifier group to an item and create a modifier group on Clover POS. Again, as always, you can check your kitchen printer to make sure the modifier has successfully printed. You can see we have our porterhouse with potatoes, and our modifier, as always, is in red, and that modifier would be well done. Kitchen staff happy, server happy, and customer getting the item that they wanted.